Hello, welcome back to the channel. For those of you who are new, if you'd like to subscribe, there is a button below, also a notification bell. We are here to give you a reading. It is the new moon, it is the Taurus season. We have a new energy coming in, guys. We're all adjusting to that. Now, a couple of things before we start. When we do the cards, I see the cards as actions and energies rather than genders. Yes, we follow the genders here to keep the story clear, but if it's reversed, please reverse it. Don't message me and say, oh, that's not me, that was that person. You have to discern that for yourself. If you feel a reading resonates, it resonates. I can't answer that for you. And yes, if you go and because someone said, I looked at your reading last year, something popped up, I didn't realize it was a year ago, I listened to it and it resonated. Yes, readings are timeless. We are future readers. Well, I am a future reader. I don't know about other people. And remember, we're just tuning into the energy at the time. I am a future reader. So a lot of my clients, I actually had one yesterday. I read for him 3 years ago and everything's happening now. Everything in that reading's happening now. And I've had many messages come in the last year or two that always say that reading you gave me 1, 2, or 3 years ago is happening now. There's a reason for that. We're always predicting the future or validating or clarifying the present, all right? The other thing is, and timing's fluid because you have free will. So we can lead a horse to water, we can't make it drink. There is timing involved and your free will and how resistant, the law of resistance and non-resistance comes into that. Okay, most of the time you have free will. Let's hypothetically say about 80% of the time you will have free will to go out and explore, do as you do, be as you be. That's what you're here for. Then the universe steps in and brings you back into alignment and takes over, so to speak. All right, keeps you in alignment with your destiny. That is the job of the guides, the archangels, and the high guides. Your free will on earth is always trying to interfere with that. So the spirits all of a sudden have to step in and go, oh, we're going to have to do some stuff here to get this person back in alignment. All right. So that's roughly, I'm just giving it a quick 3D kind of easy breezy explanation. All right. Because if you simplify it, people go, oh yeah, I get it. So, and there was one other thing and now I've forgotten. Oh, the truth thing. Okay, so alignment. And this has come up and someone asked me to record this or say this. So I've got to get it in my head again. Oh my God. So to be in your true alignment, to really be in alignment where everything's, abundant and flowing and all of the above, and your highest potential and just in such alignment in your life, and that's where we get ease. You have to be able to do accountability, so if we want to go back, there's many. So there's vulnerability and accountability. Accountability into truth. Your truth or the truth into the divine's truth. So you have to be able to discern all those, and you can't discern those unless you can seriously look at truth and seriously be accountable and do your work and your healing and blah, blah, blah. So we've got those, then you become authentic. If you cannot be authentic, that is in spirit's truth, in divine's truth, following the divine. Therefore, you have to be in your truth and you have to be accountable for that. Then, once you're in authenticity, you are in the highest divine alignment of you. That's when it all happens. I think I said that. Yeah, I did. So we've got vulnerability, accountability, truth. Then as you work through that, you're really seeing divine's truth. Then you become authentic out of all those. Then you come into true alignment. True alignment is like a true channel, right? It's where everything is in perfect alignment with who you are, and you can see and communicate who you are to you first and foremost, and then outward. And you're in that integrity, and you live by that. And you're in, I'll just use the word integrity of that. Okay, so that's when ultimate alignment, abundance, gifts, talents all activate. And the more you are in that, the more you have to adhere to spiritual laws, the more you have to be obedient and be able to not break those spiritual laws. Then you are given more. If you do or will compromise spiritual laws, the spirit guides step in and rank, derank, anoint, unanoint, whatever that's called. All right, let's get into it. So they're just questions that came in for people that need to be clarified, I would say. This King of Cups, 3 times I've tried to start this read, he is jumping out. All right, he, she, they, jumping out. Okay, you can come out. All right, we get it. All right, so we've got a King of Cups on the table. King of Cups is in their emotions. They are upright, they are emotionally balanced. They are very kind, caring, loving, giving, but they're actually very in tune with their emotions, and they do need connection, okay? So Ooh, 4 of Pentacles, fated wheel of change, Temperance card, liking it, King of Cups, liking it, and releasing something. So this King of Cups is in balance. The 4 of Pentacles, I've got this feeling this King of Cups is like, I know myself. It's funny, I just brought out the truth, the accountability. It's like, I feel like I know myself, or I'm balanced, or I'm set on what I'm in. The fated wheel of change is hitting, and the Temperance card. That is karma. It is the next evolution of them. We've got a Queen of Wands, and we're releasing burden. We've got independence, self-sufficiency, entrepreneurial, and passion coming in here. Let's just have a look at what this King of Pentacles. Someone here, we've started with the King of Cups and we've finished with the King of Pentacles. So let's clarify this King of Cups. This is already true to tarot, taken a twist. All right, let's just have a look. Well, what I'm getting here is this, from Spirit, is this King of Cups actually feels they know the truth. They've had a revelation, they've had an epiphany, an idea, or they're ready to make a tangible move. They may have a piece of information. Whatever it is, Pentacles represent, I now have the evidence, or I now have in my hand XYZ to make a actual physical move, right? And they're standing on this. They kind of have stepped into their power. But what I'm getting here is this. Oh, I get it. This isn't too bad. See this fated wheel of change away from the toxic. I'm telling you now, and I am going to take my hat off to this person. This feels like a masculine energy. Doesn't have to be, but it really does feel like it. This masculine is finally the fated wheel of change into the devil. Look, if they have been too stubborn, too uncompromising, my way or the highway, they have realized that they were being quite devilish, and the fates are showing them that. So this is a person who is actually being shown who they are, or how they've been too stuck, too stubborn, too one-minded, to this, to that, whatever it is. And the fates have brought in, they may have got some pretty bad karma, to be honest. But I take my hat off, because this Temperance card, this Ace of Wands, standing up, defending now and releasing anything and moving on and down a new path. So this is a person who's either due to their karma, this was forced, but hey, it doesn't matter, you know, as long as the change is happening. And this person seems to be taking it. And they're going their own way. Look, they feel a cup is missing, and they're going on that spiritual journey. And they're very passionate about what they want, or what they're building, or what they're creating, or what they're going to, or who they're going to. That's a foundation. And this King of Pentacles is walking away, okay? And they don't feel they've got a choice. I am going to say this person feels like, to me, collective, that I actually feel this is a person that may be quite loyal, or, you know, what's the word? Spirit said it's not loyal. The word would be, what would be an analogy? I've made my bed, I'm lying in it. Or I've started with this and I'm going to prove that I was right. So even though it's so terrible or toxic or this or that, I'm going to stay here and work this out. Do you know what I mean? But to detriment of themselves and others. So I'll use the word a stubbornness or an arrogance or just uncompromisable or something like that, right? But they actually had got karma out of that and shown. Karma's to show you where you need to grow, okay? And it is to do with the law of balance. Now, this person, it's weird. It feels like they had to live by a certain set of rules. But underneath, that is not actually how they felt. So here's a great example. Just an analogy, just an example. Let's pretend I had to live under a family's beliefs. And I did that just to appease the family or get approval. But underneath, inside, it's not really how I felt. It's not really what I agreed with. All right? But I did it. And this is why this masculine energy, if it was a feminine, this is why they had to go into a masculine energy and reverse roles. Yeah, there feels like to me the way they were really set, stubborn, stuck was actually truly the way they coped with being out of balance or out of integrity with their truth. Oh my God, there it is. It just came. So I'll use the word, thank you, Spirit, stoic is a great word here, because the King of Cups can be manipulated by their emotions. They can hang in too long. They can compromise emotions for too long. Then they turn into, let's say, a bit of a monster, a little off the rails, so to speak, and we wonder why. Because they were not in their truth. They were appeasing others, getting approval for others, or living by some standard or social norm or societal norm. A really good, just as an example, would be, you know, when you're younger and you're just like, I'm just going to get my partner and I'll be married forever. And then, you know, as we grow and evolve, and we all know that, you know, things happen and it's not just A or B result. There's a whole heap of stuff in the middle. Well, this person, I hate to say it, I'm sorry, Spirit's telling me, they had to learn the hard way. So this is a person that had to learn the hard way. And I think people around them had to learn the hard way too. I am a true believer in, because I've done so much work with people over 35 plus years, healing, counseling, you know, all sorts of things. Most people, not all, but it can be, you know, when people have got certain toxic behaviors, if you get down to the nitty gritty and all of that, they are just out of alignment with who they are. You know, they're trying to play a role in life, in society, in a family, in a group, in a friendship, whatever, as a person that they think everyone wants them to be, and they're not being true to themselves. It's not always, but if you want to get down to the deepest possible core, and we're like, why are they acting like that? Or why are they so angry? Or why do they flip out? Or why do they do this? Or why do they do? There is a deep imbalance in that person where they're out of integrity with their emotional body. Meaning they're not really living the life they want or they choose. They're living to live vicariously through others and pleasing others. All right, we'll leave it there. Spirit said leave it there. So I do feel that this King of Cups and this King of Wands energy is going through their karma right now. And that's not a punishment, by the way, if this relates to you. Karma is about showing you where you are imbalanced, showing you what you cannot see or work through. So the energy then vibrates at a certain frequency, and that is sent back to you. Okay? For some of you, you're imbalancing the energy so much in you. This is why the bad karma comes in, negative karma, not bad karma, negative side, because that's how you learn. So if you're a person who likes to struggle and likes to be in toxic relationships and likes to have this constant chaos and struggle and something to work out, they're actually working that out within themselves. So karmically, they're telling the universe, I want struggle, I want opposition, I want to learn the hard way. I mean, the list could go on. So why Spirit's saying this is you need to look at everything as energy now. You are a walking vibration. All right. Now, because, and we've got the Wheel of Fortune and the Devil on the Temperance, which is the Earth Angel. So we've got the Devil and the Earth Angel. Bang, bang, right? They're balancing karma, putting things back in the law, and this is you have to learn the hard way, and now you have to receive whatever. Now, we always think of karma as those outward repercussions that come back. Yep, that's real, right? But if you look under that, you've created that imbalance because or due to you not being in your truth or speaking your truth to you first. Where are you living your life to appease or get approval from others that has pushed you so far out of who you are or disconnected that you are now attracting this, and you wonder why. You wonder why. You cannot be out of alignment, out of your, out of your truth, out of all of that. Deep, I'm talking deep inside. Although you're doing all the outward 3D things correct, and this is, okay, this is like, what, I'm doing all this, why does all this happen to me? Right? Well, they had turned into a bit of a tyrant, but turning into a tyrant through, I do everything and I get this, right? So they're becoming that arrogant, stuck, shut down, shut off, disconnect energy. Well, if you go deeper under all that, it started from you having to not be you, not be true to you, and be true to everybody else, which put your inner dialogue, your inner compass, your inner Wi-Fi off. And that's why you keep attracting it in. Okay, let's clarify. There is a message. Yeah. Okay, I can wrap this up really quick. This person is definitely getting their karma, and they're definitely being shown by the divine what they've done, why they've done it, who they've done it, whatever. See, they're definitely not in a good space. They are going to message someone. They've had an epiphany, an idea, they're messaging someone. So expect a text, a call, or whatever. Now, whether they're getting the call or you're getting the call, we don't know just yet. But they feel confident now. This is King of Wands, King of Page of, and sitting in this. So that shows me, sorry, and this person, this is good. This is really good. I know it's not going to sound good, but it's your biggest awakening. I mean, this is a player from the Himalaya. This is player Himalaya. This is Optimus Prime out in the streets. Okay? Now, there is no issue. Let me get this clear. If someone is true and authentic, nobody has a problem with it. If you're up front and say, I'm not into connection, I'm up for a good time, not a long time, you will connect with all the people who have that programming. Not a problem. Okay? Nobody has an issue with what you do. Be honest, be truthful, and allow people the truth so they have a choice. See, this is all this integrity, truth, authenticity. Nobody has an issue. If someone approaches me and says, I'm the biggest player of the Himalaya, do you want to have some fun? I would respect that person more than playing people, right? You get that clear. All right, this is what this person needed to learn. And here's the flip side of that, Spirit just said. Some people are Optimus Prime, player from the Himalaya. I don't know who made that up, but it's a saying. Some people do that because they're so unhappy in their life because they cannot move into their truth, their alignment, and what they want, because they live their life appeasing others or approval or through society or family or friends or groups or whatever. There's ego, right? Or trauma. Ego and trauma, best friends, right? Excuse me. See, speaking truth as I'm doing this. This person can't speak their truth. They can't live their truth. So they disconnect from self and they'll become like Optimus Prime in the streets. And it's a deep rebellion. It's a deep, what do you call it? What is that? Covert anger or hate or revenge, or if it's none of those, it's getting their power back. But it's false. Yeah, because they can't deal with the real issue. Okay? So this Spirit's saying this will help this person keep going, because I'm like, this is too deep, Spirit. Like, this is hectic. They're like, keep going, keep going. Because this person's suffering. They're suffering. Maybe they can't work it out. You know, we're not here to criticize and judge. Spirit, seriously. I've got like a man here. It feels like a grandfather. And I want to cry. Like, I want to cry right now. This grandfather is so worried about this person. Because I'll tell you now, this person's truly a King of Cups. You can be too empathic. You can be too caring. You can be too nurturing. You could have grown up hypothetical. This is just a random example. It may not relate to this. If you've been brought up, I've done healing on this. You know, in the old days, you had to make your father happy, make your mother happy, keep your mother happy, keep your father happy. It was nearly like our job to make sure that they were looked after. They were look after your sisters, look after your brothers, it was nearly like this ingrained thing. That's just a simple example, because I'm trying to help this person. This reading is actually to help this person break through. This person here I can tell you right now, this King of Cups, reverse genders, roles, they want to defend a Queen of Wands Empress. Look, this is a person, I tell you now, this is a person who loves someone or wants a certain life. Maybe it's the same gender, something, or culture, same gender or a different culture, right? I don't know. Maybe it's someone, whatever. Let's call it religious factors. All right? Whatever they are. But actually, it's this person's truth. Let's pretend they want to be really spiritual and their family's not spiritual. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But this person is getting worse, or they're dealing, it's the reason why they're Optimus Prime. Cannot commit, cannot connect, cannot. Because the people who need to have a lot of connections, that's because they can't connect. They're just getting that little hit, that little. What's Spirit saying? Avoidance of their own emotions for others' emotions. So this is someone not being in their truth. They're getting their karma and they're wondering why, you know, I'm nice all the time, or let's say I am doing whatever I want. Yeah, see, they had to leave. I'm not joking. They had to leave behind. The wounded warrior wants to go to an equal, or where they're two of cups, whatever that is, or whoever or whatever that is. But they actually had to leave behind an old way of thinking, being, doing, that was completely denying themselves, then wondering why the universe was completely denying them, or sending them negative karma. But they were kind of doing that. I can't explain it any other way. I hope that makes sense. And it actually forced them into being like, let's call it a player, let's say, but actually that's not actually who they truly are. But they couldn't actually face what they needed to face to come into this. So here's the thing. They're in deep regret. They want to go on this path, fill this, there's an empty cup. And this is how I can confirm it for you guys, what I've been talking about. This person's not happy. They want to go and fill this cup. There's something missing in their life, and it's through sacrificial. They're going to go for it though. This reading may help them have an epiphany, right? I don't know, because they have to leave behind. But this was quite a hard-working or loyal, or this, the King of Pentacles is like, if I make a decision, that's my decision. There's no compromise, right? That's the King of Cups, the Pentacles, sorry, in this energy. I don't have a choice. It's not about my happiness. It's not about what I want. It's obligation and responsibility, which turn them kind of cold, disconnected from themselves. All outward, and then we wonder why they're flipping out off the rails, or why they're wondering that. And people are like, what's wrong with you? Well, what's wrong with you is that you keep sacrificing yourself, and now you've got that karma. Universe sacrifices you. You're creating and now you're in that disconnected energy. You want the universe to send you good energy. Doesn't make sense. Make it make sense. Spirit's like, make it make sense to them, to your alignment, to your energy. You are Wi-Fi. You are Wi-Fi. What is your Wi-Fi doing? All right, now you've become that, and you've now seen it, or getting your karma for that. But actually, you were stoic and staying in there, weren't you? That's not alignment. That is not destiny. That is not the fates. That is not alignment. What you were in and what you were doing, or your way of thinking, or your way of being. Life is full of changes. Life is full of unseen, unpredictable levels of growth, change. But this person, it's like, if I ate dinner, this is silly, at 10, if I have that at 10 a.m., I don't drink that, and I only drink that, and now I've got this responsibility, that's it, my life's locked in. Yes, we have responsibility and obligation, but this has gone that you've always got to find a balance in that. It's like, do you go and hang out with friends who never, they're not compromising, or they're not, they're expecting you to do things that they wouldn't do? Are they telling you what to do, but you're not allowed to tell them what to do? Like you wouldn't hang out with those people. I don't know. I'm now getting confused, because I think this person's been in that confusion, but they now see, and they're going to go forward and see. They're having to walk away. This King of Pentacles is realizing, wow, these people's backs are turned. They're non-negotiable. They've given me no choice but to move on and forward, but they want me to stay here and be loyal and dedicated and obligated and devoted to them. But when I turn around and say something I want, or my truth, my deep truth, their backs are turned. That's not how it goes. So this person has come from that. It's not about your emotions. It's not about how you feel, or who you truly are, or what your destiny is, or what you actually feel in your heart and soul is right for you and part of your written journey. It's not about that. It's about this and obligation and this and what we need and approval from us. And that's what they've come from. And that's all the people they attract in. And if this person got unconditional love, or someone that was willing to compromise or work with them, they wouldn't resonate with that person. They would like it, they would be attracted to it, but they would not resonate with that person. They'd be like, nah, this is off, this feels wrong. No, I have to go back over here. Like, you know, it's this cutoff. And that has created you, my friend, this. And to the people who do that to people, who are not willing to say, well, you know, what is your truth? What are your hopes? What are your dreams? What are your wishes? How can we help and support you? We don't have to agree with you on everything, but we're willing to support, or we're willing to negotiate. Or if you really truly love this career or this person or this path or this whatever, or this project or this hobby, look, I'm not going to just fully support if you not agree with, but I am going to accept that you need to do this. They don't come from that. And that's why they're in all this toxicity. They've come from my way or the highway, and that's how they think life works. But it's been out of balance for this King of Cups, see? This King of Cups goes, well, that might work for you in your life, and I can see that that's worked for you in your life, but why is it not working for me in my life? That's because you're not the same vibration of them, honey. That's because you don't have the same spiritual journey, spiritual contract, you don't have the same heart, you don't have the same soul, you don't have the same soul contract. Just because you're born into a family and the beliefs does not mean you have the same soul contract. How many empaths are born into narcissistic families? The entire family. How many empaths come in, or spiritual people come into non-spiritual families? Same. Right? Same, different. Now, fated wheel of change, the devil devastated. Yeah, Queen of Cups, because this person, they're at a distance, temperance. This is a person stuck, broken, traumatized, because they feel they've lost their Queen of Cups. This Queen of Cups is in the distance. They love them. They're their future. It's a yes, you're the one, and they can't get there. Or they miss the boat, or I don't know, whatever they're crying about, whatever this is. It's not crying, it's absolute devastation. But it's like that was their karma for being that, like that's how you learn. That's how the universe steps in and says, well, you know that love, that Empress that you didn't defend, that you didn't go for, that you didn't stand up for, that you let go because of all these people, that you put in the distance, that you truly loved, where you were heading to after you released all this burden that you couldn't, your North Node, that leap of faith you were supposed to take for this person and you didn't, and you regret it, right? You didn't work with them, now you want to. See this, 10 of Cups, 4 of Wands, passionate. This is someone's heart's desire, and they don't see how they can get there now. And they've been forced into walking away. It's a yes, ending, healing, to go to their 2 of Cups. This person had to go through this. This had to be broken down in them. You have to understand. Men, males, it's in females too. The females that had to be masculine, they're masculine because of a reason. Feminine, masculine, feminines. Did I say that right? Feminines in their masculine, however, they have had no support. They've been asked to sacrifice, compromise, all of the above, and it's never been there for them. It's that simple, guys. And their safety, their security, and their stability has only come from them. And them being sacrificial, compromising themselves for others. If you want to know why we have women in their masculine, they are in survival mode, or they have been given the responsibilities far beyond what they're receiving back. It's that simple. It's not a rebellion. There's not one woman on this earth that doesn't want to be in their feminine. And the reason I said that is because it's the same as this masculine. How many masculines are on this earth, right? I need a drink, guys. That are completely in this energy, denying themselves their truth because of what their family wants or their society wants or like, and I'm not talking about the everyday treating people right, wrong. I'm talking about denying thyself, sacrificing thyself. And when I say that, I'm not talking about going to work every day and paying the bills. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about what your heart and your soul is getting. Where is your heart and your soul being nurtured? Where are you in love or in love of whatever and not allowed to pursue it? Not allowed to have an emotion, not allowed to be spiritual or whatever with yourself. Where are you denied and expected to deny your truth, but you stand there and uphold their truth and what they want? And I'm talking about conditioning. That's like you telling an emotional, connected, spiritual person who feels like an empath to be a King of Swords. And I want you to be happy being the King of Swords, and I don't want you to feel. Okay? Why are you so emotional? Why are you in this? It's a fad. You know, someone here has come from very disconnected or lives, or that's now normal for them. Your cells believe it's normal. If you're conditioned or programmed, your cells think that's normal. That's safety. That is survival. To undo that, you will go into anxiety, fear, and panic in your cells. That's why we get addicted and stuck in cycles and loops. Because the cells, they'll do it for a while. It's like when you go off sugar or chocolate or alcohol or anything, all of a sudden what happens? The cells go, oh, we don't feel normal. If you were raised in a toxic environment, right? With lots of like abuse or whatever, it's very hard for you to feel normal in peace because that's how you learn to survive and stay safe in that over there. So for you to go into peace and harmony but if you're born in love, it's hard for you to go into that. If you were grown up with disconnected, emotionally disconnected parents and you're an empath, or you're in tune with your emotions, or you're an emotional person and you were taught to shut that down, every time you go into opening yourself up or getting in your true alignment, you will then, every time I talk about that, my throat closes over, you will feel that it's wrong, that it's uncomfortable, I have anxiety, I'm now in fear, I'll go back to disconnecting myself. And some of you, I have actually done healing on that, and you should do healing on that. Everybody should. If you feel every time you get into your alignment of you and it gets thrown off, every time you be true to you and it gets thrown off, every time something good happens and it gets thrown off, right? You can all put your hand up. Oh, I have a run of luck. Oh, bang. Oh, something good happens. I'm waiting for the shoe to drop. If you have these programs, you are trying to go outside your programming and get into your truth. Every time you get into your truth, your subconscious will default it and put you back into the programming, the old programming. That's how it works. That's why you've got to do deep subconscious reprogramming. You have to get in like a theta brainwave. It's a scientific fact. I'm not making this up. It is. You can research it. The theta brainwave has been scientifically proven, because there's certain techniques that you do digging on the subconscious. It is scientifically proven that the theta brainwave is the only way that you can change something in the subconscious, which shifts your frequency. If you're not doing that work, you will not change your frequency or your life or your cycles. You won't. It just resets. Or you get 6 months and then it resets, right? So have a think about that, and that might help this person. I'm going to go because I've got a client soon and I need a cuppa. Any more messages for this person? And as we say, this is to absolutely help this person, because I don't care. I don't want to see anyone in that. And if anyone and I would say, and I am going to say this, I would say that this person has done this to people, and they did it to someone they really love or really admire or really, like saw as a Queen of Cups Empress with the Sun card, who stands on their own and defends themselves and is a real go-getter and an independent and Queen of, yeah, well, she's all queens in one. Yeah, they kind of, that's the feeling of like, if I did this to anyone, I should not have done it to that person. Or, and it's all that other stuff or if I let go of, or if I overlooked, or if I mistreated, or like it really, yeah, that's like, an innocent, like, no one's innocent, kind, loving, nurturing, like good intentions, like King and Queen of Cups, they're a match, and B, they're both very, very gentle, kind, loving, spiritual, care about people, yeah, you've all been there and thought, oh God, if there was one person I shouldn't have kind of. Anyway, I would say that this is this person's, see fate and judgment, putting the past behind them and moving forward. The Chariot, and this person kind of feels, and there we go back to this ending, beginning. And the reason why is because they were in the King of Swords from their old programming, but they want to move forward from this. Now, I want to say this. This could be something, that they've got to close out this deceptive cycle or toxic cycle and move on. They might be around people that are my way or the highway. You go there, you can't have your family. I mean, fancy living your life around those people. Ultimatums. It's okay to have boundaries and rules and things like that. There's nothing wrong with boundaries, like rules for boundaries and, values and integrity and all that. There's nothing wrong with that. But when someone says, if you go over there, your family will, whoever, it doesn't have to be family, it can be anybody, could be a group of friends, could be anything. That's wrong. That's really off. When they're denying this person and they're in this. I'm going to say this, and this does not apply to everyone. Someone has a prominent or like an authority figure. Now, it could be a mother, a father, a grandfather, a grandmother, I don't know. It could be the whole family, I don't know. It could be an ex, it could be, it feels like someone of authority. like someone that would be involved in their programming or something, ideology. I'd have to Google that word. Ideology. It could be religious. See, look, that's what I mean. Like really strong authority. Someone's got that, and they really truly are. If you marry outside the religious, the race, the social norms, what the family expects, what the society expects, I don't know, it's something like that. But yeah, my ear's going, woo, tapping into something there. But these people have to understand this person kind of had to become them to survive. And that's all breaking down for them because they've got a purpose, a destiny, and a mission. So this person's in this absolute turmoil. And probably the one person that they didn't want to hurt, they did in all of their toxic behaviour. And they've come to the realization that they're sitting in the wrong tribe. And if they leave that tribe, they're going to be wiped. Or if they go with what they want or who they want or whatever, they're going to be wiped. Now, there's only one situation that's probably okay. No, it's not for me to say, but like integrity-wise, if that person was in danger or, you know, in a violent situation or really toxic. So absolutely, ultimatums are there for a reason. If a person's endangering themselves, like staying or wanting some relationship that's just so toxic and there's violence and they're plummeting and there's lack and there's fighting and there's you know, I'm talking really bad. Like, you know, sometimes you have to give people an ultimatum, but this is basically for no reason. People that are giving ultimatums for no real this is a kind person. This is a loving person. Why would you give an ultimatum to someone about this? Just because you have a judgment on them. This person's done nothing wrong. Nothing wrong. It's like they're hated and they've done nothing wrong. They're hated and they're forbidden fruit, and they've done nothing wrong. They're actually a kind, sweet, loving, caring, nurturing, spiritual, kind person. And they probably don't even know them, haven't even met them, don't want to meet them, don't bring them here. That's the kind of ultimatum that's off. Ultimatums protecting, and these people that are like that will say, I'm just protecting you. That's not protection, that's control. Yeah. They've been working against them the whole time and they've worked it out, or they will, or they're about to. They're about to work out that these people weren't working with them or for them. These people had an agenda with them and wanted them working with them, and that's why they brought in these ultimatums. Because if this Queen of Cups, Empress, male, female, he, she, they, Queen of Wands, Empress, Queen of Cups, there was another one, wasn't there? Queen of Pentacles showed up somewhere. All because this person would have freedom. They would not be under the with this person they would build, they would be free, they would transform, and that's what they don't want. So I can tell you now, there are people around this person, or whether they've said something or whether they've seen them at a distance, because they have made these harsh judgments on this person and wherever or whatever or whoever or wherever or whatever they want to do, without any investigation, or openness, or even like to know them or to look into it, or even say, oh, well, what is this thing you want to study? And why do you think you want to study it? No. These people are like, nope, you're here for us. You're dedicated to us. Your loyalty's here. And we don't want you around anyone that can grow or show us up. And if you get with that person over there, you would be free, because this person's independent, Empress, all queens in one. And going to give them more love, more support, because I'm not joking. You can't be an Empress with the Sun card if you're not bringing light, abundance, happiness, joy, creativity, expansion, uplifting, nurture, long term, inspiring, growing this person. These people did not want that. And it's really sad, because these are their loved ones. Imbalance. I just saw the Two of Pentacles. Look, a reevaluation. They didn't want to see it. They didn't want to see it. That's a tough call. Now, this is a healing for everybody involved. Everyone involved, well, that group probably won't, but maybe it's a growth for everybody. Maybe it's a new perspective. And we're not here to blame. You don't blame anyone. Everybody's doing the best they can do, and everybody's living in their own beliefs and their own safety and their own survival that they grew up with. Nobody should turn around and blame someone. It's for you to grow yourself, be in your truth, your authenticity, and show them growth and love. Okay? Not adhere to their control and order. And can I say, even if that's not like just someone in your life, that's happening out there in society at the moment. We all know, we can all look on the social media platforms between masculine and feminines, right? It is everywhere. So even if this reading wasn't about a particular family or a particular person, it is an issue that is going on. And Spirit's trying to say, yeah, this person wants to expand and come to you. They're thinking about you. There's distance. They're not with you. Or if it's not you, a person, this is a journey they want to go on. It could be part of their higher purpose, destiny. It could be a career. It could be a, I don't know, anything. Okay? They might want to go and work with monkeys in the jungle. I don't know. But it's, you know, and some families, this is no, you know, I don't think this happens a lot today, but it could, you know, there, even sort of 10, like 20 years ago, some people are the first person to ever go to university in their family and travel the world or live overseas, or, you know, and it's, what? Some people never leave, you know, like there's always breakers of the chains. Does that make, like, there's always that one that will grow, or families that have always worked a 9 to 5 and this person's completely entrepreneurial, you know, whatever it is. We can put this into so many aspects, and the Sun card shows me, yes, correct, triumph, victory over all, understanding, clarity, optimism, abundance, and validation, because it's the yes card. So as I said, you're not here to blame people. You're here to understand it and grow yourself and make your own decisions and move forward lovingly, and you know, and saying and telling the people, look, I love you, but I need to grow, you know. I don't want to have this ultimatum. You haven't even explored this or asked me about this or even asked me how I am or who this person or place or situation is. So we're kind of getting to those depths, all right? So, oh my gosh, the healings, the revelations, because I saw the high priestess. They can't stop thinking about this empress. Now, if it's not an actual empress, guys, it could be to create and birth something, like a career, a business, a certain personality that they want to be, a certain person that they want to be. You know, this is complete, this is so silly, but I have to use it. And it's not silly, sorry if I offend anyone, but I'm just going to pick something that's incredibly extreme. Let's pretend I come from a family of men and they're all footballers and high profile, like men, and they're all professional football players and all that. And you're one of them and you want to be a ballerina or an astronaut, or you're, you know, it's just, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with any of those, but that's a hard place to be. Does that make sense? And pretend they're all can't understand, not accepting and like you know, judging that. All right? It's just that energy, not the scenario, the energy, the feeling, okay, of you having to naturally disconnect from you, get out of alignment for others, and wonder why your life's not in alignment for you and working for you. That was good. That was really good. Gosh, I can take it. Yep, it's going to help them work out what's really going on. And it is a genuine loving, this is coming from a place of love, understand, like love, and helping you to just go, oh, sometimes we don't even have to fix or heal it. We just go, oh my God, thank God that makes sense to me now. That alone will shift your frequency. When the penny drops, theta brainwave. Take care, guys. Bye.